Hiya hustlers, welcome back to our channel. Hope you're all having a good week. So I'm Candy and I'm going to be talking you through what we're doing here on the homestead. Few rambling thoughts as usual and just a bit of context. So we have quit the 9 to 5, we've escaped the corporate life and we are attempting to build a frugal homestead from scratch. We've upped sticks and moved 3 hours away from our family and friends. We purchased this property at auction, so we own it outright, mortgage free at 42, almost 43, and I'm really proud of that fact. And this is just our journey and a diary of our life on how we're managing, what we're doing, what our plans are, and basically just our real life vlog. So thanks for joining us. Those that are new here, welcome. And today I wanted to speak a little bit about kind of how making massive changes in your life doesn't just affect you, it changes, I guess, perception of you for other people around you as well. Firstly, I wanted to say I'm trying to do these videos in different parts of the house. So I'm down in the dining area at the moment. Last time I was in the office and I've been in the garden, I've done the kitchen. So I'm just trying to share little bits of the house that we're doing. Still quite a bit of renovation to do. The main bit is that we're in, it's livable and perfectly comfortable. There's just some finishing touches like painting and the bathroom cupboard being done and stuff like that. So I'll share all that along the way, but until we get to the point where we're able to properly homestead, these are going to be my rambling thoughts about different things in the world, how the world is going and how it looks like from our perspective. So anyway, I keep digressing, so apologies about that. I do tend to ramble on about different things. So yeah, let me get back to what I was saying. So we've completely changed our life around. You know, we come from a place where you go to school, potentially uni, not always. I didn't go to uni, Kel did though. And then you get a job, you get married, you settle down, and then you die, basically. And that sounds a bit harsh, but that's essentially what it is for everyone, most people anyway. And we just, like, you know, we want to switch the narrative. We don't just want to do that. We want to live for us. And it's not just a off-the-cuff decision. You know, I was in the corporate world and the corporate life for 25 years plus, and it just became a bit too much. And I just thought there must be more to life than this. And don't get me wrong, I loved my job. Yeah, I loved it all when I was there. I was rising up the ranks. I was a senior leader. But I just think that I'm destined for other stuff. Not to take away from all of that and the people that I worked with, but just focusing on me selfishly, just what I want to do. This is the route that I wanted to go down. And, you know, I think, I don't want to use the word awake because I find that a bit cheesy. But when you start seeing things in the world that you wasn't aware of before, and you start researching them and you start looking into them a little bit more, you notice it everywhere and you do start to question things. And a lot of that happened for me because I think I've said before, I mean, you've seen our prepper pantry, for good's sake, like, we're into preparedness and we're into a bit of prepping and stuff like that. So you get interested in that. You start to veer away from the mainstream stuff and start to like go down rabbit holes into different things. And yes, a lot of the stuff that's out there probably is conspiratorial, but a lot of the stuff is blooming true, what's going on with this world. And we just didn't want to be a part of that. We had the opportunity to, well, I want to rephrase that. We did have the opportunity, but it sort of came about where over the last few years, and actually before I get to that point, so Kelly and I have been together 20 years this year, and even when we first got together, our dream was always to live on a farm. We'd always said that when we first got together. I think never thought it would be reality, right? So I guess this is our version of that. So this has always been on our radar as such. And we got to a point in the corporate world where I personally was really suffering from burnout and poor mental health. Kel has health issues anyway, and we just said, you know, we can't go on like this. We can't keep going on like this. So we made the decision. I resigned from my position. We put our house on the market, and I say luckily, but it was from hard work as well. We was able to release quite a bit of equity from our property and able to purchase this house outright. So we don't have a mortgage now. So that's one thing off the table that we don't have to worry about. Now, when you do start making changes in your life, you do change as a person as well. I think the person I am now is the person I was always destined to be, but I haven't always been like this. I've been in the trap where all I've cared about is how much money I'm going to get, what promotion I'm going to get, all the material things, a brand new car, on finance, I might add. Big renovation at our last property, so I had vaulted ceilings, skylights, top of the range kit, technology. It makes me feel a bit sick when I think about it, because we wasted so much money in the past. And obviously we've stepped out of the 9 to 5, and I think that can be quite hard for people around us to understand why we've done this, because they're still in the system, and I respect that and I totally get that, and I feel like I can judge a little bit, because not judge, but I can talk from both sides because I've been on both sides. I'm not here to take away from what anyone else is choosing to do with their life. I respect that, and I love everyone around us and all our close friends and family. Crack on. But this is what we're doing, and this is what we choose to do. And what I'm trying to get to is that I still think that what we're doing is seen to be a bit weird, and I don't think that people fully understand it. And I know a lot of the concerns are probably coming from a place of caring. However, it's about not educating people, because that sounds a bit patronising, but who says what's the norm? Who says what do you have to do? And for me, I've already spoken about, all the health benefits, both mental and physical health benefits, financial benefits. And that's a two-sided coin, because yes, we are up against it with money because we're living off our savings pot at the moment. And we've still got stuff that we want to do in life, and we don't have the money to do that. I don't know how we're going to get the money to do that, but I'm positive that we will get it, if you know what I mean, whatever that might look like. But a lot of people still say, when you're getting a job, oh, it's great what you're doing, yeah, it's really great, but when you're getting a job, how much money have you got? What? And I don't really know why people ask that, and it's become, this society is all about, the prestige of how much money you earn, how much money you've got in the bank. And what I want to highlight is that a lot of people out there that are on good salaries, and we were one of them, we had, obviously we've got no kids, it's just the two of us, both earned decent money, but why did we still have a lot of debt? That's what I'm really trying to piece that together. I don't know why. And now we've hardly got any money, but we're happier, and we've got no debt, no mortgage. So, go figure, what is the right thing for us? However, the job thing is still a question that I know hangs between people, between us and people that talk to us, because I don't know if it's people want to live our way, and they can't because of their personal situation, or because we're so conditioned to get in the 9 to 5 and that's where you are until you die. Well, you retire and you hope that you get a decent retirement, but there's always that hope, isn't there? And some people, poorly people, work all their life, retire, and then they're dead within a week, and that is not something that I want to do. And I also want to caveat here, I'm not shy of I'm not work shy, and actually the complete opposite. With this life that we've chosen, we've just thrown a whole load of challenges and obstacles in front of us that wouldn't have been there, and we work blooming 10 times as hard as what we did before, just different work. It's more physical, it's more labour intensive, it's more outdoors. You don't close your laptop and then you go back to work the next day. This is literally, we're working on our life, we're not just working for a company. And I've said before, I will have to have an income at some point. Never say never, I'm not stupid. You need money to live in this world, and I'm not here advocating the fact that you don't need money. I've said that before, but I'm certain that I'm not going to go back into the traditional 9 to 5. I don't know what that means, what that looks like, but for now we're just managing how we're getting on, and we're ticking off day by day, and that's working for us. It works differently for everyone, but yeah, people just not really understanding. And I'd be interested in the comments, if you want to leave us a few comments below, people that are living alternative lifestyles and people that want to break free from what the societal norms are. How do people around you react? Because I still get a little bit of a guilt trips essentially in my head. I know it's just me, no one's intentionally making me feel like that, but oh, what you doing, what you done, what you up to, those are the questions. And I feel like I have to explain myself all the time, and list stuff off, and what I'm listing off of what we're doing is 100% true, but I don't know, I'm still conditioned a little bit that I'm not working, so I'm lazy. And I can see that on the outside, if I look at it in a more broader picture, that is ridiculous, because I am busier than I've ever been. I'm building a life and a future for us. Because of what's going on in the world, I want to be more prepared. I want to be more self-sufficient. I want to do all that type of stuff. And I feel like that's what we're focusing on, and that's what we're doing. And that's the bit that I think is hard for people to understand. I think people also understand that Kel and I just like being together all the time. That might be a bit weird to some people, and don't get me wrong, we have our own space, we have our own time, we have our own interests, but the majority of the time we're best friends as well, as like we're married, obviously, we're a couple in that respect, but Kel's also my best mate, and we just like bumbling around together and pottering about and doing bits and doing like, marry your best friend, guys, I really recommend it. But we're just having the time of our life, and I think that's also hard for people to understand. You know, it's a sad world when the first question that people ask you, and this is not my situation, by the way. I've been at social events, parties, family events, when like the first thing is, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're doing really well, that must be a good salary. And I just look back at it, and like at the time it seemed normal, but now I just think that's not how we should be. Not judging, because that's the wrong word. You shouldn't judge people anyway. But that's not how we should be documenting success, is through how much money you earn. And I can be quite honest and say that when we was earning really good money, we had a lot of debt. And I think I just said that. I don't know how that happened, but we had car on finance, you know. We had a loan to do the renovation. We were still earning good money, but we still didn't have a lot of disposable money. And I guarantee you that there's a lot of people out there that on paper are earning fantastic money, but they're still struggling, and that is what is wrong with this country, and that is what is going wrong with the world, and that's why I don't really want to be part of it anymore. That sounded a bit dramatic. I want to be part of the world. I don't want to be part of this system and what it's making people feel like and be like. And you know, I follow a lot of people on YouTube that are living alternative existences, like the van life people, nomad life, you know, canal boat life. Like I just love people, and I get such a warm feeling when I see people living authentically themselves. And I can't reiterate enough, just do your thing. Like, life is far too short. Life is 100% too short. You only get one life. Just do what you want to do. Don't worry about what people are going to think. I need to give myself a bit of my own medicine there, because I do still have that little niggle at the back of my head. I wonder what people think that we're doing. Like, are we doing the right thing? And are we going to be all right forever doing this? And like, that is normal. Those fleeting thoughts come and go. That's normal for anyone doing anything in life, in my opinion. But we are just trying to do something different. And yeah, I was just interested in other people that have tried different things and how their close loved ones have reacted to it. And like I said, I know a lot of it is probably coming from concern of how we're going to cope. But as far as I'm aware, we've coped this far. We've got this far, we've coped this well doing what we're doing. Why can't we continue to build on it? And I think if you don't have a dream, how's a dream going to come true? Right, cheesy as hell, I get that, but it's so true, because we're not, when people say they're manifesting something, right, I'm not saying you're going to sit there one day and you're at your office and you manifest and think, I'm going to have a farm. Although it's good to think those positive things and put them out there, manifesting means doing as well. So everything we've achieved so far in the last 12 months, we have been putting ourselves out there. Like, we manifested. You know, we wanted to buy something that was rural and mortgage free. We wanted to be able to get it, not necessarily just at auction, but those where the prices were coming up. And we're not just going to sit there and think we're going to get a house mortgage free one day. We actively travelled in our van to different areas. We researched areas. We put ourselves in the position where we were talking to different people, and we've just found the right place. But we haven't just settled in the right place and been lucky. I know I have said that before, and it does feel that way sometimes. Where we are, we're in a lucky position, but you have to work for it. You have to, things you want to achieve, you have to start putting, you have to start putting the foundations down and start doing it and start living it. I'm digressing again, I always do that. But this was about how people react to living differently. And I know maybe we seem a bit kooky, you know, especially to people that we know and people that we love. I guess we've gone a bit wild, we've gone a bit off grid, bought a house outright, 3 hours away from everyone and everything that we know, and we want to start living off of the land. Like, that is just such a dream. And it does sound a bit mad, right? Maybe we are mad, but I think people never give themselves permission to just do what's right for them. There's always so much other baggage that comes with it, and it's tough because, like I say, I know a lot of the questions and comments are probably coming from a place of love and a place of concern, and I think it's a bit of misunderstanding as well. I don't think people fully understand why we want to do what we're doing and how we're going to achieve it and why we want to do it. I don't think everyone has to understand that. I mean, it's just for us. Like, we're doing what we want to do, and that's what we want to do. I don't want to live the norm. I feel like I can pass judgment on that, as I said, because I have lived the norm. I've lived the material life. I've lived the financial life. I've got myself out of that now, and that is massive. And now we're in a bit of limbo because, you know, we've purchased the house. We've done most of the renovations. We've still a little bit of renovation to do, and then some internal little jobs, DIY and stuff that we can do ourselves. We're in limbo because it's at the time of year where we want to get the homestead going, but there's just no point in doing it coming up to winter. I know we're still in summer, but forward planning. So there are little bits we're going to do outside, but we're going to start really turning our life on its head, turning it upside down. We've made this change so far, which is, I think, even I say it's quite dramatic. It's quite drastic. It's a big change that we've made, but we're only going to go from strength to strength. And it's not that I always want acceptance, so I guess there is a little part of me, and actually it's going to get a bit deep here, but I have had therapy in the last year, and a big thing about that was seeking acceptance all the time from everyone, basically. Just want to be accepted, and Christ knows why I've managed to do this without getting those feelings. But I think a whole part of letting go of having acceptance from people is just being able to do your own thing and having the courage to do your own thing. And, you know, we've had a lot of there's been a lot of bereavement in our family over the past 3 years, and that's really struck a chord with me, that life is too short and I just want to crack on and do what we want to do. And I guess the message here is, you might have a little seed of a crazy plan in your head, but you're always going to regret it. On your deathbed, you're going to regret not trying it. Yeah, you should do it. Please get out there and do it, because it might not work, but what if it does work? It's going to be the best thing you've ever done. So it was just about, today's chat was just really about people's feelings towards you making a change and why it matters what people think. I guess it does matter what people think, people that are close to you. I mean, you always want people to wish you well. And can I just say, everyone is wishing us well, that I'm not talking about me personally. But it's difficult when you make big changes in your life, you change as well. You know, it's not the same, but similar. I've watched documentaries and I've read stuff about, you know, people that have been really morbidly obese their whole life, and then they go to, like, they start changing their life and they get really slim, and that affects all the relationships with their partner and their family, and they become a different person, they get more confidence. That's a little bit like that, but not the same. But we're just changing as people, and we have to accept that not everyone is going to be 100% on board with what we're doing. And you know what? That is absolutely fine. And I just wanted to put out there that just trust your instincts. Intuition is the main thing, and I really do firmly believe in fate as well. So if you're manifesting in something that you really want to do, that is deep in your heart and soul that you want to do, just get out there and do it. No one's going to come and rescue you. No one's going to do it for you. Just get out there and live your life. Well, that's another ramble from me today. I do like these rambling chats. I am looking forward to getting out there and doing the homestead videos with you though. But until then, I'll keep sharing my thoughts and keep sharing all the little updates that happen on our little homestead here. And just about alternative living and living your best life. You've just got to do what's right for you at the end of the day. There's no one going to come along and rescue you. It's all on you. If you want to change, you make that change. It's all in the head. It's all in the mindset. You can do it. I really believe in you, hustlers. Thanks for following along. If you like listening to me ramble along every week, a couple of times a week, please hit the notification bell. Let's see some of your lovely comments in the box below. I love speaking with you all every week. I do respond to every comment. And please do share and subscribe this channel, because although we've got no income at the moment, I would love to get this channel monetized. I've never said that before. I think people have mentioned it in the comments that they would love to see this channel monetized as well. Thank you for all those supportive comments. You know, we've never been this close. We're almost at the viewing hours that we need. We just need to up our subscribers a little bit. But we're not going to change what we're doing to do that. We hope that people will just follow along and see that we're genuine, just sharing our life, and we hope that we find our people along the way. So that would be amazing. But thank you all for the support, and I will catch you on the next one, hustlers. See you later.